Hi there and hello again and welcome back to Love and Action Daily Boost program. I'm Dr. Flo, not telling you what I heard, but what I know. What I know is that you're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're going to be loved and lovable for the rest of your life. And I can't change that, nor will I, as a online mentor and coach who encourages, equips, and empowers the world daily to use their time, talent, and treasures for good on the planet. We make good trouble here, and part of the good trouble making is coming through this lovely co-host that y'all see every Sunday online, Tara Praolo's studio. What are you bringing and offering to the world today out of your studio and out of your heart?
If you know this, you're in the know. That's all I'm going to say. It's from something we did yesterday. Anywho, I'm Tara Praolo. I'm your resident Black, biracial, multi-passionate musician. I talk about the ish that nobody wants to talk about and push you to do the same. I had a tremendous week of walking through whatever we walked through last week, yesterday, finishing out the daily boosts. And so I'm excited to be here today to start another month. I don't remember what last month was. Gratitude and Growth Month. And then we sat in gratitude this morning in the clubhouse room and we all cried together, and it's a beautiful time. So if y'all want to come in a little bit deeper to the Love and Action Network, you can join us daily at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. We can't guarantee that we're going to cry every day, but we can guarantee that the AI does its job with the questions, and the people that are currently in the room are giving us beautiful parts of themselves and sharing their souls with us. So we really appreciate that.
The power is in the listening. The power is in the listening, just to be able to hear another human's perspective, to hear what they came through. If you start listening to people, they will tell you everything you need to know about them, but they also will tell you everything you need in order to love them more deeply and to care for the human they are in the present moment. And there's lots of hearing and sharing and compassion, care, and love that's happening over in the clubhouse room in the morning. Same as happening over on Bigo and on TikTok and any of the other spaces that we can gather. Tara and I gather, even in the midst of our yawns, throughout the week and the days, in order to just be present to the community and to offer the love that we wish to receive. Tara and I are not doing anything other than just being the change that we wish to see in the world, and it's been fun. Last week I did miss Tuesday, Thursday, and maybe Friday. Did I miss all of my boosts last week?
Yeah. I did 4 boosts yesterday, so if y'all are interested, it is up on her Substack. I also accidentally read sacral chakra instead of solar plexus chakra, but I caught myself in the middle. It was a whole thing. It was a you know what? It was good. It was what it was meant to be.
We try our best to bridge the holes. Tara bridges way more holes that I leave than, and vice versa. However, I'm very, very grateful because I was just kind of like planet Earth. Not last week. I was observing the coronation of spring 2025. That's what we'll call it.
Equinox.
The spring equinox, darling.
The equinox of spring that happened on March 20th, not March 21st, but March 20th.
March 20th is when we ushered in this change that's coming through my nose.
It has not reached Minnesota yet. Well, it has. It started growing here, but it's not that bad yet.
The water that pools in our puddles are turning yellow and green around the edges because certain things are in bloom and certain things have yet to come and make our lives very interesting. So I'm just going to stay on my sinus rinses and stay hydrated and try to have a better spring than winter. For those of you who are around in the live sessions preparing for Dr. Flo and the Love Experience to come, the winter was brutal because of the heat and the lack of humidity and the cold. It was just a lot. So, we're human instruments. I don't play trombone. I am the trombone. So we'll make it happen. You know why? It's because we are the creators of our happiness.
I like that it's yellow.
Yes. I reclaim my power to create my own joy and happiness. It is not dependent on any outside source or individual. Therefore, it cannot be taken away. it can always be found within me. Once again, I reclaim my power to create my own joy and happiness. It is not dependent on any outside source or individual, therefore it cannot be taken away. It can always be found within me, the creation of my happiness. My second card that I'm going to share, is all about casting spells, you guys. Casting spells. The words I speak and the stories I tell are like spells. What I say and believe I attract more of, so I shift my story from lack to abundance, from victim to empowered, and from complaint to gratitude. We talked about gratitude this morning in the room. Now when I speak to others, through my words, I'm casting beautiful spells. Last card, and then Tara's going to do her inspiration. Then we'll jump into this week's and this month's theme, or the theme of the next 4 weeks, I should say. The last card is all about what it means to be playful, Jimmy Jams and Angie. I go about life playfully and take things lightly. I can turn any hard day or heavy burden into a fun adventure. Why spend time upset when there's so much fun to be had? I'm going to read that one more time. I go about life playfully and take things lightly. Tara and I always joke that we're like serious, unserious people. And last week I took Daily Boost very unseriously. But she also didn't take it too seriously and did 4 in 1. And, you know, it all worked out. I'm going to do better this week, though. I'm going to batch this week, y'all. I record them all probably tomorrow and then slow drip them into the world. Mm-hmm. I can turn any hard day or heavy burden into a fun adventure. Why spend time upset when there's so much fun?
When there's so much fun. Yeah.
Is that kid allowing you to sleep? You're yawny today.
I am yawny today. But I think it's just okay. So I heard somebody put something in the chat at like 4:59 my time. And I heard my phone go off. Most of the time I put it in do not disturb, but I heard my phone go off. And so then I was like kind of tossing and turning until I got up. The baby slept until 8, but I was tossing and turning. So, and I'm still, what I'm finding in my elder age of being a mother and being almost 34, I do not drink as often because I do have to be like fully present for my child during the day. So I don't love to like compromise that by being tired, but I had a drink on Thursday night to celebrate my performance on Thursday, and I should have just stopped at the halfway point of the can of Long Island that I had, and I did not, and so I think I am still 4 days later recovering from that indulgence.
We're not in our early 20s anymore.
It takes a long time. So speaking of that, this has nothing to do with it, but it's called 11. It's from We the Urban, and it says 11 things about anxiety. And I'm sharing my screen here. Dr. Flo will pull that up when he is able, and I will read to you. So this is a collaboration between We the Urban and Doechii. Now, do I know if these people actually talk to Doechii? No, I don't. Although it makes it seem like that in the caption.
It right now.
Yes, it says a special We the Urban X Doechii collab to remind you, you are bigger than the fear, the doubt, and the noise. Anxiety might ride in the passenger seat, but it doesn't have permission to take the wheel or pick the music. You are in control. You choose what to believe. Oh, one more time. You choose what to believe. You choose peace. Let go, breathe, and come back to yourself. And now I'll read the slides. The first slide says, anxiety is a liar. Your body needs peace more than your mind needs answers, friend. You deserve a life that feels good for your nervous system. Do whatever it takes to get there. Don't believe everything you think. You are the thinker, not the thoughts. One more time, because that one's kind of blowing my mind. Don't believe everything you think. You are the thinker, not the thoughts.
I am the thinker, not the thoughts.
I am the thinker, not the thoughts. Not enough people talk about how physically exhausting anxiety can be. Your nervous system will really be in shambles. You're tired all of the time, stomach in knots, heart racing, and mind worrying. This is why daily conscious self care is so important. You have to focus on what you can control and let go of what's beyond it. Worrying won't change the outcome. Breathe, relax, lean into ease, and choose trust over fear. Shout out to everyone behind in life. Know that this is a myth. Your life is unfolding at its own unique, perfect pace. Every path is unique, and every step, no matter when it's taken, is exactly on time. Stay the course. Triumph awaits. Forgive yourself for the coping mechanisms you adopted during challenging, anxious times. Focus on your breathing. The first step to relief is regulating your nervous system. When you catch your mind ruminating in negativity, try and bring yourself back to the present. Ground yourself in your surroundings and anchor yourself in this moment. If anxiety starts to feel overwhelming, use the 3-3-3 rule. Identify 3 things you can see, 3 sounds you can hear, and 3 things you can physically feel. And last, believe in yourself and your ability to overcome these feelings, even when it feels out of your control, excuse me. Believe in yourself and your ability to overcome these feelings, even when it feels out of your control.
Even when out of our control.
Mm-hmm.
You know what isn't within our control? You know what is? Loving ourselves and loving the earth. For the next 4 weeks, we're going to be talking in this community about what it means to have love for the planet. Love for the earth is love for ourselves. And throughout this week, we're going to explore sustainability, mindfulness, and eco love while aligning with our chakras over the next 7 days. Of course, each day that we're here, and we intend to be here every day this week, we're going to give you an introduction to the chakra and its connection and theme, and connection to the theme in what we have going on. A mindfulness practice, which will be a grounding visualization and breathwork exercise. An actionable practice, which is a simple, eco-friendly action that you can implement, because we don't want you leaving from our sessions not being able to go out into the world and actually make a difference. A lot of people are sad today and maybe even a little depressed because they want to make a change or they want to do better, but they're not really sure how. And of course, we teach here that the how comes in being honest, open, willing, and available to your life and to the things you say you want. But we'll give you some eco-friendly actions to implement this week. And then also, we're going to end every day with reflections and closing thoughts that will hopefully encourage you and call you to action about loving the earth and loving yourself more. Of course, today is Root Chakra Day. We're talking all about grounding with the earth. Of course, you all know from being here every Sunday, Angie, that the root chakra is our foundation. It is our grounded sense of belonging to ourselves and to other people. The color is red. The mantra is I am. And just as the earth is the foundation of life, so are we supposed to be the foundation of our own lives. When we connect with nature, we strengthen our sense of stability and security. And sustainability starts with gratitude for land beneath our feet. Some call it Turtle Island. I've been thinking about that ever since Tara said Turtle Island to me in here, which is, of course, what the indigenous people originally called this continent that we sit on and this landmass that we sit on. What do you think about this land beneath our feet and how we are using it, Tara?
You are land beneath my wings. Listen, every time land beneath me, it's the wind beneath my wings, child. Also, it made me think of the TikTok. Shared a TikTok video in the general chat of animals that have unexpected sounds. And First of all, if I ever meet that Australian buzzard, I will lose. I will die. I will just.
I've also never seen inside the mouth of a penguin.
Oh my God! Right? Like, girl.
You have have a situation on top and a situation on the bottom, and I'm like,
And they're like fighting.
right. And Poppy Water was like, I would hate to be a fish.
Exactly. It's gross.
I don't know
The things
about
that I
penguins,
didn't know.
apparently. I never heard one of those. Never heard a koala until today when you sent that to me. I never heard that buzzard that you sent.
I never even knew that buzzard existed, and I was just fine not knowing that it existed. Okay.
Wild out here.
Stuff
we don't know.
That video just, oh my God.
The world of people are trying to know it all. Tara Daily sends me stuff that I do not know.
TikTok really loves to expose me to things that I don't know.
Who does? TikTok?
TikTok.
Yeah.
My algo.
And I've intentionally followed people on threads that make me like see stuff that's out there. But I like it.
I currently am knee deep in like horse talk abuse drama.
Oh no.
Like abuse of horses.
Oh no.
It's really depressing.
Sure. Poppy Water watches the hoof replacement when the hooves get infected and they have to dig out the.
Does he watch the cows or the horses?
He's a horse hoof watcher.
Okay, he should look up Nate the Hoof Guy.
Nate the
Hoof Guy. But I really enjoy watching Nate the Hoof.
Please also drop that in the general chat because I thought that he was gonna be offended eating food in bed one night when I was watching Dr. Pimple Popper.
Oh my God, I love Dr. Pimple.
But that doesn't offend him because, oh my God, don't do that because they pull out like stuff that looks like it's coming off of like the Aldi shelf out of people. And now you're licking your lips. Disgusting. And the pushing and then she's cutting through and she's squeezing. I do like it. It does.
The lipomas are gross.
The
lipomas.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were licking your tongue at. And yeah, but Poppy Water said it doesn't matter to him. He's been watching that for like a long time, and he likes watching the hoof replacement. Hoof.
Yeah, I feel like he'd enjoy Nate the Hoof Guy because he explains what he's doing, and then he's like very tender. It's great. But back to what we were talking about in Turtle Island and the way that we treat the land. I will just say land back now. / let's all learn how to be kinder to the land. I really try, and Dr. Flo has watched this for 4 years, the 4 years that I've had a garden, how I toil in the soil and try to make the soil as healthy as possible. And, even though this land here is a little more sandy and clayey, it still grows potatoes really well. And so I'm finding in the process of planting different things every year, what actually grows. Yes, that's it. What actually grows well in my climate. And I think that if we were curators of the land and caretakers of the land, like Indigenous people were before we were here, and are currently, I think that we would have a lot more care for each other and a lot more care for ourselves. I know that for me, like, it's not just that, like, when I make my own food from scratch, when I make zucchini bread from the zucchini bread that I grew in the yard, or my salsa with my peppers and my tomatoes that I pick out of the yard, it's not that it tastes better. It's just that I know how much I put into that. And it feels better to partake in that, I guess. So we talked about gardening in the room this morning too, and I kind of want to, Angie, I want to get a pool together to get like a bed, like a raised bed for you guys, or like a couple buckets or something to put in the yard to grow stuff, so that you and Poppy can have your own garden. Is what I was kind of thinking along the line.
Child.
You know what I mean? But I don't know.
Only if you can drag it behind a car.
Well, we could do the 5-gallon buckets we could grow in. The base man
Oh,
grows. He grows all his stuff in 5-gallon buckets and like milk jugs and stuff. So I
and is
think
that to fruition?
yeah, yeah. You could absolutely do tomatoes in like a couple 5-gallon buckets.
And Ghana?
I think we should.
Yeah, tomatoes.
Then we just have to buy the potting soil,
Yeah, and
you know?
and then not buy tomatoes from Aldi.
Right. Right. Exactly. We could do one cherry tomato plant and one um, Big Bertha tomato plant or heirloom.
And then I would learn how to reinvigorate my green thumbs for the apocalypse.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so I'm going to move us into the mindfulness practice as you're all envisioning now how you could garden in your backyards, how you could garden if you have little to no space. If you are in an apartment building, 5-gallon buckets are awesome. I used to have porch tomatoes. They actually do sell those at the store, so like you can go buy seeds for porch tomatoes, which grow a little bit smaller, and they're great. Anyway, I did that in my apartment for years and years and years. An earthing meditation. Oh, this is fun. If you are safe, you can follow all of these instructions. If not, do what you can do in the space that you're in. So it says sit or I can't do this right now because it's cold outside. Sit or stand outside with bare feet. But I do this in the summer. Feel your connection to the earth. Breathe deeply and visualize energy rising from the soil into your body. You can say over yourself or over who is in your community right now, I am deeply connected to the earth and honor its gifts. I'm going to read it all again and then we'll breathe in and out together. Sit or stand outside with bare feet. Feel your connection to the earth. Breathe deeply and visualize energy rising from the soil into your body. I am connected deeply to the earth and honor its gifts. Breathe with me now. 4 beats in, 4 beats out, twice in a row. Here we go. Breathe in and out. And in and out. Good. Good.
Very nice. As an action step you can take this week, consider walking barefoot outside today or spending mindfulness time in nature. Just walking your neighborhood, walking your block in gratitude can help you tap into the earth, but also tap into yourself. Also, consider reducing waste by eliminating one single-use item from your routine. Some of you know that my superfan Angie and superfan vice president of the club sent me this water bottle from miles away, and this is a way that I reduce plastics in the house. I have not drank out of a plastic bottle of water, thanks to Angie, for well over a year. So we don't have little plastic bottles around the house. We don't have plastic bottles out in the trash can. It's not going to go in a landfill anywhere. We are reducing our waste by eliminating single-use items. Same thing with our Aldi bags. Our Aldi bags, those colorful, green and orange and yellow bags. That's a way to reduce waste. So consider a way in which you cannot be so wasteful on the planet, and just love on Mother Earth because she's the only one that we have. Tara, what's one way that you feel grounded in nature beyond sitting outside in the spring and hopefully not ruining your laptop this year?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That was crazy.
That was
the day that Mama Oya killed.
Mama Oya spilled an entire water bottle, and that I still have the computer. Piper plays with that computer now because she's never coming back on. Anyway, I connect with nature. I feel like, okay, I want to say something because I live in Minnesota, y'all, and it's not like our springs and our late spring and summer and fall are really quite wonderful to be outside during, but there are like 6 months of the year where it's like not great to go outside. So I want to share a way to connect with nature from inside the house. So one of those ways is by having indoor plants. I am a person that is great with outdoor plants, and like I grew like 30,000 zucchini last year, and there are still some in my freezer. And I will be making more bread soon with that. And maybe some. I'm craving a chocolate zucchini muffin, y'all. Um, so that is one way that I like reconnect with nature, is that I'm cooking with the things that I grew last year. But indoor plants, if you have them, I have cactus. Like I have jade plants, I have a Christmas cactus, and I have a aloe vera plant that I grow. And aloe vera, I love aloe vera because they grow super, 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 super slow, and it just like makes you appreciate having them. And then another way that you can connect with the outdoors while indoors, and for me this works, but I often put a hand, I actually do it with Piper every morning. I put a hand on the window. So in the mornings, we open up Piper's curtains, and I hold Piper up at the window, and Piper's small enough where their little feet still fit on the windowsill. And so they stand there, and I hold them with one hand, and then I push my hand in, and Piper pushes their hand in. And we have a moment together at the window, connecting with whatever is the temperature is outside. So that is a way you can from the inside, and just like noticing what's falling and listening for whatever you hear. As Piper gets older, I'll definitely say, "Hey baby, what are you hearing outside? Do you hear, do you hear the birdies? Do you hear the rain? Do you hear the leaves rustling and things like that?" So you can do it from inside the house. What about you? I feel like you ground in nature a lot in the spring, summer, and fall before it gets chilly there. And even in New York in the winter, you were.
I love being outside.
Yeah.
I think that nature teaches us everything we need to know about life. I've never seen a cloud rush through the sky. I've never seen a blade of grass scream, "Ah, I'm thirsty." I've never seen a cardinal curse anybody out, you know? It's always chill vibes in nature. Nature wants to give and give and give more. It's humans, in fact, that put the constraints. And so just taking a walk out in nature, looking up at the sky, what you want to teach your child, the mindfulness practice of taking in the birds and their songs, paying attention to the rustle of the trees and the leaves, walking in the rain, dancing naked in the rain. There's video footage of this all over social media of me having that day. These are things that allow me just to realize that from the earth I came, and I'm going to return to it. And it is supporting me. Even when I don't feel supported, perhaps by people in the external sense, even though the people that are close to me love me and cherish me and support me, the earth is a wonderful totem. If you can feel the earth under your feet, if you can feel your ass on the chair, then you know what it is to be grounded, and you can use that sensation in every area of your life. Yeah. Yes.
Every area of your life.
Yes, every area of your life. Words like I got up from a nap, y'all, to come into the studio today to kick it here.
And we're about to go into a clubhouse room in literally 4 minutes.
So let's challenge them to go outside and express gratitude for the land, and to do your best this week to stay grounded. Something's going to happen to you this week, as it happens to all of us, to try to take you off your mark. The winds of life are going to blow the sands of life potentially into your eyes. Just wipe it, blink, and keep trying to see a bright and hopeful future for yourself. On behalf of Terra Paolo Studio, Poppy Water 33, myself, Andre in the Flow, Angie, Her Story True, CC, Jimmy Jams, and everybody that's a part of Love in Action Network, we invite you this week to stay in your power, stay in your joy, and stay loved and lovable. And we'll see you sometime soon around the network.